We're going to look at the situations where we find division by zero and how we explain division by zero. What we have been told up to this point is what?
It's undefined.
Okay, division by zero is undefined or can't divide by zero. We'll look at why we can't divide by zero or why we say it's undefined. First of all, let's take a look at division, an easy example so we can understand the process. Let's take 6 divided by 3. Now, pull out your calculators if you need to. Hopefully you don't on this one, but 6 divided by 3 is what? Okay, 2. Why does 6 divided by 3 equal 2? You ever thought of the meaning of that? Okay, exactly. Division, when we say 6 divided by 3 or fraction form, whatever division notation we're using, we're essentially saying 6 equals 3 times what? And of course, 6 is equal to 3 times 2, so 6 divided by 3 equals 2. Now, let's move into 0 divided by 3. Well, what is 0 divided by 3? Okay. 0 divided by 3 is 0. We do get a value, a valid number for that, because this 0 here, we're asking 0 is 3 times what value? And we can say anything times 0 is equal to 0. So 0 divided by 3 does equal 0. But what about 3 divided by 0? Okay, thinking about it this way, we're really saying 3 equals 0 times what? And, right, there's nothing that we can multiply by 0 to get us 3. Or, I guess, technically we should say there's no real number. There may be some other number out there that will work, but there's no real number. So we define division by 0 as undefined. Now, technically, well, we've got to be careful with saying anything divided by 0 is undefined, because there's one particular place where that's not true. But we can say 3 divided by 0 is undefined. Now, the tricky part is when we look at 0 divided by 0. Oops, that's the wrong thing. So we come to this question. If we look at this the same way we've been looking at the other division problems, we would say 0 equals 0 times what? What could that be?
Wouldn't that be any number?
This could be any number whatsoever. So theoretically, we can't just say anything divided by 0 is undefined. We have a special term for this one. 0 divided by 0 is what we call indeterminate. Indeterminate. We can't figure it out because it could be anything. It could be 0, it could be 1, it could be negative 1,000. Okay? And we're going to run into this situation a little bit later when we start talking about limits and how to calculate limits. But theoretically, we need to define division involving 0. We could say 0 divided by some number equals 0 as long as that denominator does not equal 0. We could also say some number divided by 0 is undefined if the numerator does not equal 0. Okay, so we can't just say anything divided by 0 is undefined. We could limit it to anything except 0 divided by 0 is undefined. And then we just showed 0 divided by 0 is what we call indeterminate. Come on. And as we get into working with limits, we're going to find more indeterminate forms, but 0 over 0 is probably one of the main ones. Okay? Questions there?